Good morning, everyone. It's a great day this morning. My name is Ron Jones with CBS 13, and I'm your Master of Ceremonies this morning. And we'd like to welcome you to the 17th Annual Caltrans Workers Memorial. And obviously, we're here to recognize the men and women who have fallen on the highways, byways, and bridges across the great state of California. We need to recognize them. Every day, Caltrans maintenance workers open up unlimited opportunities for all of us. Whether we have to go on a family vacation, they make sure that we get there safely, or if it's interstate commerce, Caltrans workers pave the way. But with those opportunities come the inherent dangers. Let me tell you a couple of statistics here. Every year in the U.S., more highway workers are killed than police officers and firefighters combined throughout the entire United States. And get this, nationally, 3 workers die in cone zones every 5 days. Part of those statistics, 166 Caltrans workers have been killed since 1924. But I am happy to report this morning, a very good report this morning, that this is the first memorial in 4 years. In 4 years that we're not recognizing a Caltrans maintenance worker that has died on the highways, byways, and bridges across California. And that gives us great reason to celebrate. So obviously the Slow for the Cone Zone campaign is working throughout California. Now we'd like to take the time to introduce to you the Honor Guard of Caltrans. Now, these men and women, these Honor Guard, represent Caltrans maintenance workers, not just from Northern California, but Southern California as well. And we really appreciate them volunteering and coming out today as we recognize the fallen Caltrans maintenance workers. All right, next I'd like to introduce to the stage Pedro Nava. He's the Assembly Transportation Committee Chairperson.
Good morning, everyone. We're here to remember those that left home for work every day, be it rain or shine, and we were blessed to call our husband or our wife, our father or our mother. We are here to remember those that chose a life of civic service and those we were proud to call our children. And I want to say thank you. Thank you, Caltrans workers, for your dedication and your commitment to the people of California, for the work that you do to make sure that we can get home to our families safe and sound. Thank you very much.
Today, as we come together as a community of friends and colleagues to remember those who have lost their lives in the service of others. You know, it's difficult to realize that the simple task of cleaning a culvert alongside of a highway, of removing debris from a highway, patching a pothole, or any of the other tasks that ensure that we can safely drive on California's highways can result in the tragic loss of life. We honor those who have lost their lives in senseless accidents, but we also honor and remember the families and the co-workers that lived and worked alongside of them.
So I would just say to the families who are here, we are honored by your presence. I know that going to these ceremonies is not easy for those who have suffered a loss. It means a great deal to all of us that you're here, honoring the memory of your loved one and honoring us with your presence. And very difficult to bring back those memories. I understand that. We commend you. We thank you. We say to all of you that we will do everything we can to make sure that those kinds of tragedies are minimized or eliminated wherever possible in the future. God bless you all. Thanks for being here.
You know, several years ago, I stood before this crowd and I asked this legislature and this department to come up with some form of remuneration for the fallen Caltrans workers to their spouses. and I'm glad to say that we have done that. From this point on, any Caltrans worker dies on the job, their surviving spouse will receive an annuity equal to 50% of their monthly salary for the rest of their life, similar to what police and firemen get. And I congratulate the legislature for following through on this. They finally recognize that this is a very dangerous job.
Just last November, the California voters entrusted Caltrans and the construction industry with multi-billion-dollar improvement bonds. And with that comes a lot of responsibility. We must remind the motorists that our quality of life and the world-class transportation system that we enjoy and all the infrastructure work and projects that are coming must not be a life and death proposition. The motorists are the silent partners that we constantly have to remind to drive safely in our work zones.
Our highways are the backbone of the world's strongest economy as shippers move freight from origin to destinations. Our highways provide the American family an unparalleled quality of life. Yet our highways are being strained at the seams. They are aging, they are congested, and they need attention. Work zones are the result and are a necessary fact of life. Our job at the Federal Highway Administration is to work with Caltrans as partners to provide support and resources and to deploy new technologies to keep our work zones safe for both workers and for fellow motorists.
The Office of Traffic Safety is proud to be working alongside Caltrans in this vital work. We're proud to have worked with Caltrans and CHP to help promote Report Drunk Driving, Call 911. We're proud to have worked with CHP and Caltrans to promote Click It or Ticket, which has resulted in 250,000 more people wearing seatbelts. Finally, we're so proud to have the ability to provide funding to Caltrans to promote Slow for the Cone Zone. And I can assure you that in 2007 and beyond, OTS will continue to provide the funding that Caltrans needs for this important program. Thank you very much.
We have a common bond. California Highway Patrol has lost 210 officers. Caltrans has lost 166 on the roadway, making our roads safer. When I look out at the cones in front of us, they don't just represent individuals that have lost their lives. They represent families that are broken now. I appreciate the fact that the Caltrans and the California Highway Patrol work together in maintenance operations, in construction operations, trying to make it safe out there for every worker.
All right, thank you, Chief. And now I'd like to introduce to the podium the Director of the California Department of Transportation, Mr. Will Kempton.
Thank you, Ron, and thank you very much for your service today and serving as the Master of Ceremonies for this very, very poignant event. I want to welcome everybody who is here today. This crowd has grown year after year, and we have struggled over the past several years to make sure that we have a fitting ceremony to honor our fallen comrades, and I think we have accomplished that. It is a somber day, obviously, for those families suffering from a loss, but it is also a celebration. It's a celebration of the memory of our lost workers, but it's in effect a great celebration today for the fact that in the past year we have not lost an additional highway worker to fatality in the entire state with all of the construction work that's going on, and that has been no mean feat. All of us have been working together to make work zones a safer place. This year shows that our efforts are paying off. I do want to recognize and honor the families of Sean Merriman, Chester Hawkins, Michael Feliciano. His family could not be here today. Wayne Bowers, Carl Taylor, David Guillen, and Donald Parker, who has his brother serving on our honor guard. And finally, I want to recognize the most important people here today, aside from the families, and that is our maintenance employees. If everybody can please raise your hand, stand up and raise your hand if you are a maintenance worker at Caltrans. I will tell you, I am so proud to be your director for all of the work that you do. Assemblymember Nava said it very well. He talked about dedication, professionalism, and sacrifice. And that's what you folks demonstrate every day, and I thank you for your service to the state of California. Our maintenance force is the first line of defense with respect to the problems that we experience on our highways: litter, potholes, removing a refrigerator from the fast lane that's fallen out of a truck, clearing the snow. You are always on the job. You are always ready to do what is necessary, and the roads and the people and goods that move on those roads benefit as a result of your efforts. And we know it isn't always a safe environment. In December, the governor presented 5 Caltrans employees with Medal of Valor awards for their safety. We have John Wells standing right here as part of our honor guard. He's a Caltrans highway landscape lead worker, and he observed smoke coming from the roof of a burning home and rescued 5 children. And this wasn't even on the job. One of our Medal of Valor winners, who is also in the honor guard, and that is maintenance equipment operator Keith Laub. Keith, raise your hand if you can do that. Thank you very much. Let me tell you his story. He was with his fellow equipment operator, Henry Harden, and they rescued a woman who was trapped in a car that was precariously perched on a steep and icy slope. I remember reading about this story when it was reported to me. They climbed down to the car, about 300 feet, as I recall, to attach a chain to its axle while securing the other end to a Caltrans snowplow, and rescued the occupants of the vehicle. And I think that once again demonstrates the kind of work and the kind of dedication and commitment that our employees have to their job. Now, not everyone receives a medal, but there are heroes every day, and we've got examples of an employee going down a cliff to a car that had a body in the trunk. The body was alive, by the way, but it wouldn't have been, that person wouldn't have been if our maintenance worker had not proceeded down that slope. We know of an employee who rescued a new father in the rain who had crashed in an isolated area of District 9 coming from the hospital. That's over in the Bishop area. Today we honor 166 Caltrans employees who have died. We also remember those who work for our contractors. Driving safely honors their memory. So I ask every driver in the state to please slow down. Remember the fact that if you are alert in a cone zone, you're not only reducing the risk of injury to yourself, but also to our coworkers. And with the $19.925 billion bonds, more work zones will be going up. I want to now introduce our Secretary of Business, Transportation, and Housing. We're very pleased to have him here today, Mr. Dale Bonner. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Thank you, Director Kempton. Good afternoon and welcome to all of you. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining us on this day of remembrance, recognition, and indeed celebration. Today we pause to remember those who are no longer with us, to recognize their loved ones, and to celebrate perhaps the safest year we've had in a long time here in California on our highways. I'm especially proud to report, as you've heard here earlier this morning, that we haven't lost a Caltrans worker since our last memorial. And that's, of course, thanks to the efforts that all of you have drawn and all the attention you have paid to the importance of safety. Thanks to the Office of Traffic Safety and Caltrans for the work that you're doing with the Slow for the Cone Zone program. A special thanks to the families and friends of those who we are honoring today. I recall vividly, not too many years ago, just working inside this building, receiving a phone call informing me that we had lost a close member of my family in a highway traffic accident. And that painful memory gives me a greater sense of respect for the hard work that you do, and to all of the families who sacrifice every day with the real risk of losing a life. Again, on behalf of the governor, I want to say thank you to the families, our warmest wishes and condolences to those who have suffered a loss. We appreciate you being here and want to assure you that we will not forget that you have sacrificed a great deal and your family members have given a great deal in their service to the state of California. Thank you again very much.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. 'Twas blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my